going to save that. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you do that thing you do?
You absolutely nailed it, though.
Well, thank you.
I saw a picture of me. I'm like, hey, can you do it?
When he put me on the spot, my brain froze, which is why I stood up. I thought, well, I'm going to give myself about another 3 or 4 seconds to see what I remember.
Hang on. Eldarie, rivetula heldareula sea. Ben Walker!
And we're now waiting for the Ben and Robert duet album to drop at one point as well.
We got a whole doo-wop thing going.
Oh, wow.
Very impressed.
How are you guys doing?
We're good, man. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Ben, we got to start off by saying, first of all, you absolutely crushed it at Comic-Con with your beautiful performance. We loved it.
Oh, that's kind of you. I wish he'd given me a heads up he was going to do that. I thought it was a spoiler thing. Like, we're not going to tell him about that. That's a significant bit of storytelling. We're going to save that. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you do that thing you do?
You absolutely nailed it, though.
Well, thank you.
I saw a picture of me. I'm like, hey, can you do it? Actually died.
Well, when he put me on the spot, my brain froze, which is why I stood up. I thought, well, I'm going to give myself about another 3 or 4 seconds to see what I remember. And if not, I'm going to run off stage and make a joke out of it.
Well, you crushed it. And we're now waiting for the Ben and Robert duet album to drop at one point as well.
We got a whole doo-wop thing going.
Oh, wow.
Very impressed.
Yeah, love it.
Sadly, we do not have enough time for that.
How much barbershop went into middle harmonies, contrapuntal stuff. I mean, it's.
It was all in the text of Tolkien's work.
Right.
I think we just didn't get
that
it.
is true. I mean, the elves sing ad nauseum. Like, a pig walks by and they're breaking into song. But it's about time that we did a little ditty.
Oh,
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Robert,
No, it's not a ditty. You call Bear McCreary's music a ditty.
No, not at all.
It's too
Not at all. Robert, we wanted to ask you, coming into season 2, it's really interesting to see, Elrond and Galadriel a little bit more on opposing sides of one another. So what was it like exploring that relationship with Moifred this season and, going to those darker places with one another?
Yeah, it was really fun because, it's time for some plain speaking for both of them, I think, and it's another level of their relationship, and it calls into question everything that the foundations on which they think it is built, or certainly for Elrond. And throughout it all, I feel that he just kind of, like, there's moments where he just wants to ask for help. What would you do, But there's this mistrust thing and this doubt that exists that's gnawing away at him when it comes to Galadriel. So it's like, she is still his hero, but it's complicated now because of choices that people have made, elves have made.
You definitely see that, and we love that exploration that you guys get a chance to do. When it comes to your mindset, though, when you're going into season 2, what was it? How did it differ from when you went into season 1?
I was really keen this season because of the stakes, and because of the Elrond's nature, to explore the idea of the human part of him. Elrond half human, the part of him that acts on impulse and is more in his emotions than he has been. All of this is quite new for him, and so and he's really on the back foot. So my approach was really different, and because I think it's all in perspective as well. With when the dwarves are looking at Elrond versus when Gil-galad is looking at Elrond, it's a really different energy that's in the room. And so, this season, I'm not in Khazad-dûm as much, and so it's a sort of different experience for him, and the stakes are really, really high.
One thing that I love about Tolkien's creation of the elves and there's at first glance seeming perfection, that they are so wise and experienced. I really love that they're still fallible. And I think JD and Patrick also help that along, and that we find them having messed up and paying the consequences for it. That we see the king having to think on his feet. Someone who's capable and has spent so much time. He presided over the longest period of peace in Middle Earth. And here we find him going, let me see them. What do they look like? Are these going to work? Otherwise, we got to get on the boat. Again, direct quote. I find that interesting, that Middle Earth is so interconnected. And it's one of my favorite themes about Tolkien's writing is that, a decision in Numenor affects all of Middle Earth, that the hopes and dreams of the Harfoots and the Hobbits save Middle Earth, that we are so interconnected, and when we are divided, in the cracks is where evil seeps in. And we certainly see the elves experiencing some fissures.
We're very excited to see where the season goes. Ben, Robert, thank you both so much again for your time, and we hope we get to talk to you both again. Thank you.
You too. Thanks, guys.
You.